I'm out here in nature. I'm in the wilderness on the shoreline. Tired of traveling around. Tired of setting up new camps. So I've set up a pretty decent camp. And we'll just wait for a few people. Maybe somebody will come along and have something to show. But in the meantime, I've got to button some things up. I've got some stuff drying out. My coffee set up and my solar panels. Drying my jacket out a little bit. Got some moisture. And then I'm going to have to deal with my kayak is underneath that tarp in there. But I've built a nice little backdrop there to put my tarp on. And so I'll have a nice little day shelter. Cleared out a nice spot, take a nap here in a little bit. So I thought I'd just go live, see who clicks on at this time of the day. I don't imagine many will. Maybe somebody new will come along. Maybe some old friends that think I died will notice me or recognize me. Who knows? You never know. Look, trying to get this tripod into the ground better. I do not like the way this tripod works on the ground. But that's right, we're going to set it back here anyways. I don't even know how good of a signal I have. Right there, that's not trash. That's a cooler full of food. I just got it bagged up so it can stay on shore. Then make me move this a little bit closer still. Maybe I just move that a little bit closer. There is nobody around. All right. I dropped my coffee making cup into the water last night. Unbelievable. Never done that in all these years. So now make some coffee. I got my skillet, but I might not need to warm this up. Hold on. Yeah, we'll warm that up a little bit. We'll warm this up a little bit. I got a bag full of bottled water here. Got my solar charger charging. Got my radio charging. We'll be in good shape here in a little bit. Wait for the sun to come up. It's great. It's been hot. It's been real hot for the past few days. And I almost feel weird making this much noise. I don't want to attract any attention. I'm not that far from the access road. I didn't really feel like traveling. I got a lot of gear. So I just slipped around to this corner and settled in, and I'll show you the rest of the camp I built here in a minute. So that's how I'm doing it now. All right, I'm gonna turn you around and show you a little tour of my camp here. So out there in the distance, around that corner, you see how shallow this whole area is? There's a lot of deer that come through here different times of the day, mostly at night. But out and around that corner going that way, there's a road back there that leads down to the water. I'm only about a mile and a half from the parking lot, really. I can hear dogs and people at their other houses. Well, here's my shoreline view. Got some clouds for the first time in several days. Oh my goodness, look at that, clouds in the sky. So this area here was just completely littered with driftwood everywhere. Looks like this everywhere along this. So I've gathered up all the wood that was here and I've made. So this right here is just something solid I can tie my tarp to block the wind and the sun. And I gave it a little bit of a roof. I put some beams across there, and that'll give me something to put my tarp on once again. So I got that built for a nice little day shelter. And then of course I got all my gear over here, too much. But what I have here, this is my big windbreak, and I hide in here and sit and photograph, which I haven't doing much of. But so I'll just take all this wood from the shoreline, and it's real shallow water, you know, all the way out. So I'll just take all this wood, and I do have to walk really carefully. Ain't nobody even here. I'm doing this for nobody. Anyways, so this is the view that you have when you pull in. So I don't really need all this wood because I do have my tent poles just going into the mud. But this is the view underneath when I'm in my kayak. I've got a nice little shelter to stay dry all night inside of there. And then of course I got my turtle parked on the mud so it don't blow away. And then here's the actual door that I walk in and out of. And then this is the side. And actually the kayak is pushed forward a little bit because once I stand up and get out of it, it's in, you know, it wants to float. So I've got it pushed up onto the mud. But when I'm sitting in it, it's right back here underneath this nice tarp and my windbreak. And then this side here is more just for safety, so these coyotes can't run at me from the shoreline. They'd have to stop and think about it for a minute. Quite a lot of coyotes back here. So in the rest of the shoreline, it's just wood and wood and wood and wood. So there's always stuff to work with here. And then as the day wears on, it's been so hot, this October heat wave, 90 degrees. So I cleared all the grass out of here because in the late afternoon, this spot is the only place left with shadows. So I've got this spot to sit on in the late afternoon, wait for things to cool down. No, that is pretty much the tour of the camp. Here's the wilderness behind me. And there's the lake and everything in front of me. So, I hope y'all enjoyed the little tour of my camp. I'm going to be out here for as long as I can trying to save money for winter. Waiting for the deer. All right. That's a tour of my camp. You guys have a good afternoon. I'll see you next time.